Hey, thanks for joining us, you guys. I'm Phil Town, and it's time for our Q&A for rule number 1, so let's kind of get started.
Evan from Facebook asked, is it a good time to invest in oil companies, or do you think renewable energies are going to sink them long term?
Well, this is a really interesting question right now, Evan, and I think you're going to get sick of hearing me answer this question kind of the same way over and over again, at least at the beginning of the question, and that is that anytime somebody asks me whether it's a good time to invest in anything, in this case oil and gas, I got to come back and say, well, is it in your canyon? Right? So what might be good for me to invest in wouldn't necessarily be good for you to invest in. And the reason for that, the reason it's very difficult to copy somebody without really understanding Rule 1 investing is that you've got to know what's going on in that company, or you can't be buying it just because somebody else bought it. They may be buying it for all kinds of reasons that you don't understand. So not the least of which is they may have a long-short pair going on, and they don't care if that company goes up or down. All they care about is the arbitrage in between those two companies. So it's very dangerous to just sort of go out there and buy it because some guru is buying it, including me. So, but let's come back into your question. First off, let's assume that oil and gas is in your canyon. You're an inch wide and a mile deep in that industry. You've really done your homework, and you know the best companies to invest in. So given that structure to this question, and remembering that we don't provide investing advice, so don't go out there. None of this is actionable for you to go do just because I'm talking about it. Okay, let's make sure that's right. So the SEC allows me to continue to do what I do. All right, so do we think that renewable energies are going to sink oil and gas in the long term, or is it time to buy oil and gas? This is a really interesting question, because oil and gas is getting pounded right now, right? We've got oil down to 67, 65 a barrel, and OPEC is out there going, hey, we're not going to stop drilling. We're going to keep drilling because you know why? We have cheap oil to drill, and you guys in the Bakken, you're going to have expensive oil. So right now, Bakken oil, which is changing everything, that's the North Dakota oil, and the oil sands in Canada are just pouring oil into the marketplace, but they need oil prices above about $67 a barrel. So what's probably going to happen is that these guys are going to slow down the drilling in a little while, maybe in a few months, while OPEC just keeps pouring it on, as does Venezuela, as does Russia. They're just going to keep pounding it out there, and these Bakken guys are going to stop drilling, and then oil prices are going to come back up again. So this is a very interesting event. And when we have a big event like this that affects an entire industry, we definitely start looking into this industry to see, are these companies on sale? So that's the first thing. Are they on sale? And you've got to understand how to take a look at that. Now, I'm never going to tell you guys, oh, I'm out there buying something. And the reason I'm not is because if I'm buying it, I don't want you buying it. Because why? Because you guys could go out there and drive the price up. I want the price to go where? Down. Even though I own it, I want the price to go down so I can buy more, okay? So all I can tell you is in general, this is a very interesting field to go plow in right now if you can find some companies in there that are on sale. Now, watch out, because this is likely to continue down for a while. Now, are renewables going to sink these guys in the long term? Well, every really good major oil company out there expects to get sunk in the long term. But the long term just keeps getting longer, right? They keep finding new technologies to bring more oil out of the ground. So as much as we would all love to have renewable, non-carbon energy out there, you know, batteries that last 1,000,000 years or something, I'm afraid oil is going to be with us for a while. So I don't think in our investing lifetime that we're going to see renewables come in and sink it. And the main reason is that the third world is becoming the first world. China is using every energy resource it can, so is India. There's just this huge demand on global energy, and that happens to mean mostly oil and gas and coal. And as long as they're still doing coal, they're still going to be doing oil and gas. I don't think it's going to sink them, at least in the next couple decades. So thanks for watching this video, you guys, and I hope you're going to get a chance to participate with the Q&A down the road more. Appreciate you participating in this one. And I'd love to continue having the conversation. So what's the single biggest insight you're taking away from today's video? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to go do to do something to take what you've learned and go make something good happen and grow in your investing knowledge? So figure out what that is. A clue might be to do valuations on some oil companies and see at what dollar per barrel oil is selling that these companies are still profitable, and then invest in the ones maybe that are the very best of that group. So figure out what you're going to do. Put a comment down below and let me know what you did so we can continue this conversation. I'm Phil Town. Time to go play. See ya.